Hello and welcome back. Today on the bench we have a Colt Government Model that was purchased by the Brazilian government in 1937. But before we take a look at the pistol, let's cover some of the history behind the pistol. Brazil was the second largest purchaser of the Colt Government Model in the Southern Hemisphere, Argentina, of course, being the largest purchaser. Now, Brazil adopted the 45 ACP Colt Government Model in 1932 as their official sidearm of their army. And Brazil purchased, over the course of time, 16,880 of these pistols for their Army, Navy, and police forces. And as with many other countries, Brazil began to stockpile weapons towards the end of the 1930s in anticipation of World War II. So from 1937 to 1941, the Brazilian Army purchased 14,500 government model pistols. Now, these were stamped with the Brazilian crest and numbered from 1 to 14,500, although they were not consecutive in their serial number range. They can skip around a little bit, but anyway. Many of these pistols were used by the Brazilian expeditionary forces in Italy during World War II. Now, some of these pistols were actually recovered from Italian battlefields by U.S. forces and then refurbished for the U.S. Army. Now, it should also be mentioned that Brazil also received 636 U.S. military model 1911 A1s as part of the 1941 Lend-Lease Act. So we've seen several countries now that have received war materials during World War II as part of the Lend-Lease Act, Brazil being one of them. Now, after World War II, in an effort to standardize South American countries' weapons, and at the request of the Brazilian government, a survey of Brazilian factories was undertaken by the American section of the Joint Brazil-United States Defense Commission. Now, out of this, Brazil proposed to manufacture American-type weapons. And at this point in time, the Brazilian government's rifle factory had been producing 7mm German Mauser rifles. So the U.S. government made arrangements to supply equipment that was found to be in excess by the Ordnance Department, and shipments of this machinery began in 1946. So in about 1961, Brazil began to manufacture a crude copy of the Model 1911 A1. Some of the pistols were assembled with surplus U.S. military supplies of slides and other components, and these pistols were marked accordingly of their Brazilian manufacture. Now, in 1973, Brazil adopted the 9mm Parabellum, and the Colt Caliber 45 and the Brazilian-made pistols were gradually phased out. So now let's just go ahead and take a quick look at this Colt Government Model from that Brazilian contract of 14,500. And you can see we have the Brazilian crest here with the 1937 date, and I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that. And now we have the number 4,493 of the 14,500 that is stamped right there. Now we'll go ahead and back out here and just take a look at the pistol itself. Now this one, unfortunately, has started to get a little bit of surface rust on it. You can see it in the serrations here, but other than that, the pistol is still in pretty good shape. And then we'll take a quick look, see the sight picture here for one of these older Colts. And I tell you, the modern sights are sure much easier to shoot with. But anyway, there you go, a nice look at a Colt Government Model from the Brazilian contract of 1937, and a little bit of history behind it. All right, hey, thanks for tuning in and watching. I hope you enjoyed this short video, and have a great day.